team score.
To be the case at all. We'll have to give an update to see what that series ends up concluding to be as we hop back over towards Mindfreak. They're back on the screen again, Eli, but this time versus Zero Tenacity.
And this is the matchup that Scoob called out on the broadcast yesterday. He said, I want the run back against Zero Tenacity. He had a bad taste in his mouth when they lost in Dallas, Texas to this team, but this is a totally different Mindfreak, if you ask me. Not only is it Barcode's addition, but I feel like every member of this team has just been stepping up. The mouse and keyboard players are here to prove that they can compete with the controller players.
I'll keep my biased opinions to myself. Don't worry about it. Barcode there to at least find the entrance, and yeah, Scoob is going to be there for the pinch regardless. So good control coming through. It's about to be a ZCB hold for Mindfreak. So they're trying to see where the push is going to be coming from out of Zero Tenacity. I know it's going to be a big door push, but when is going to be the biggest question. Sica's going to be able to at least find the first. Swayz there for the trade. Scoob still has Nest Bridge control, and that's just easy damage as all of Zero Tenacity are trying to get closer towards the B zone. But Sica's still alive back here. That means that Zero Tenacity can get some assistance out from the big door. Mindfreak need to stop this push in his tracks.
Wow, great grenade coming in from TchiK. He turns 2. BastosS here to help as well, but Barcode will make it 2 kills. That should make it a little bit easier for Swayz to attack here, as there's only 2 players for him to worry about. He finds one, but is also traded out. So ultimately, a lot of zones being flipped, and unfortunately, though, it doesn't lead to any time for Z10. They'll continue to have to fight for it, as it's now an A-B hold for Mindfreak.
Turn things around, trying to get themselves back over towards A. Zero Tenacity trying to keep their heads on a swivel, and they're trying to keep the kills rolling. Double kill here for Sica. Nice spike nade to at least keep things interesting, but Scoob's going to chase that regardless. He might be one shot. Well, he's going to be able to get traded out here anytime soon. TchiK's going to be looking for it. Over by screens, no, not the full regen, so Scoob's going to get traded out regardless. Camo is up. Got players trying to at least play for the area. The Shroud, I heard it get popped, but it was just used for coverage. QT also in play, I believe, from a Mindfreak individual, but TchiK's going to get that camo.
The French phenom TchiK is known to hit some crazy overkills on this map. He won't find one here, though. Barcode finds 2, shuts down the camo, and finds the perfect. This man is playing fast right now, as is Scoobmeistr, and you just love to see how coordinated these guys are. How many times have we seen Zero Tenacity flip a zone, but it just doesn't matter? They haven't got a single point because Mindfreak are just out-rotating them. They said, you can have C, we'll just take A back. You can have A, we'll just take C back. The difference has been this B side hold. Mindfreak have held B the entire game so far.
No, regardless of whatever fights we do end up seeing around the dummy side, it always just feels like that Mindfreak have players in a position to cut through bottom center, all the way over by pillars to be able to assist over by green, or if they spawn over by A, just get a player to try to push over by big door to assist over by B. These are the first points that Zero Tenacity have been able to score all of this opening map of a live fire, but man, you really do feel like that this could be the start of something if Zero Tenacity can now really let this triple capture fly. Scoobmeistr trying to find a trade over by Bags will do so. And you can see what it immediately means for Mindfreak. They want that B zone back. It's a lot of stray gunfights. Zero Tenacity realistically felt like that they had no idea where the spawns were coming from Mindfreak. They rectify what was a triple cap and almost get themselves back over towards the AV hole, but Zero Tenacity hold on.
Yeah, the problem, Zero Tenacity had a nice trip cap for a moment, but Mindfreak kind of catching them off guard. Getting the early picks in that fight helps them break through and get control of A. And now look at the 2-man wrecking crew make it 3 as they look to take over the C side. That's a clutch kill from Scoob as well, as that was the one player that the rest of the team did not have covered. And Scoob will find his way into the C zone, but now Z10 spawn in A will capture it. And look, now what's the play for Mindfreak? Do they elect to play for B, or do they like to play for camo as it's up in 15 seconds?
One shot. Repulse only good for 1 there for Barcode, as he will be cleaned up. It seems that the play at least will be fight over towards B, but Camo's up 3. Zero Tenacity, they're going to turn this in towards dummy control. Camo control is going to be in the back pockets as well, and they're able to get themselves over towards C. I imagine this will be a cut through pillars. TchiK's already over here getting damage towards backside of green. wryce is going to be able to clean up that kill, so numbers aren't here for Z10. They're trying to get themselves over by B. More than aware that BastosS is all the way up towards the top side of towers. There's also a mid-push developing for Mindfreak. Just really well done for Mindfreak just to be able to find where a lot of these players are at, but finally the Camo push pays off, able to get themselves over towards B, and they flip A to B.
Yeah, Mindfreak really needs C here, and I did want to shout out, it's not often you see the greatest player of all time show up in chat, but Ogre2 coming in to start the copy pasta train says, spam this toad to help Barcode. We know which team he's rooting for. What's up, Tom? Hope you're doing well, my friend. But right here, Mindfreak finally getting back control. Zero Tenacity showing signs of life, though. They're able to get a lot of points on the board. It's been a while since Mindfreak had a stretch of scoring, but with this 135-point lead that they built, might be able to hold on to that for a bit longer. But it's Z10 now putting the pressure on them.
Up on the feet again, 2 dead for Z10. QT play now for Barcode and puts himself in an auspicious situation, but at least he stays alive. Back towards QT, knows that Sica was weak towards the back. Barcode showing out to be as twisted as ever. Mighty's one shot over by the box. Wonderfully played for Barcode. He is everywhere that he needs to be all at once. Sniper in play as well. The collapse through the top side of center will be good for Mindfreak. Maybe play for the C capture, killing spree for Barcode. One player, one shot inside of green. TchiK will die, and Mindfreak getting themselves closer towards the double century mark.
Ooh, okay, we love to see it. Mindfreak really popping off there, just winning all of their 1v1 battles. Every time we go to a Mindfreak POV, they're winning whatever fight is in front of them, and that's the recipe to scoring a lot more points in Stronghold. Zero Tenacity just stuck spawning at C. They're kind of in Groundhog's Day. They spawn up, pick a zone, die. They cannot find a way through. They are in B now, but will Mindfreak just take C right under their nose?
Halfway towards the capture, looking good for it. Got players lurking over by B. AC hold now in effect for Mindfreak. Swayz is playing over here. It's an isolated play. Has assistance over by screens, but they're both one shot. Nice nade comes through, just kind of flushes them out, but off of these stray gunfights, Mindfreak are seemingly trying to collapse on the play, but the overextension allows at least one player to set themselves up for camo. It's Mindfreak with the numbers. Z10 spawning on the backside of A, but they also have the B hold. Still trailed by 60 here, Eli, but I feel like that they're still within an arm's reach. It mostly comes down to Mindfreak. Make this camo really stick the nail in towards the coffin. Maybe get themselves over 200 points. They're able to flip A, but they're still holding on to C. They have not been able to get close to B.
TchiK finds a triple, though. That's massive. That should convert A. Now they need to quickly rotate to protect B as well. They predict that that's the next move for Mindfreak. Looking for wryce. He was momentarily the last player alive, but wryce, good discipline. He's going to wait for his team to spawn up. Sica is all the way behind enemy lines and finds a kill on a Scoob as soon as he comes off spawn. And this is looking good for Zero Tenacity to come back into this. They just need to hold on for a bit longer. Barcode goes down. TchiK's in the right place, right time. Make it a killing spree. Double kill. Goes for more, but he has the reset. His portal was just sitting in B the whole time. Beautifully played situation from TchiK. Utilizing the QT. He finally gets taken down, but the damage has been done.
Triple kill into the double for the killing spree. Holds on, keeps B in question. Sniper was about to be up as well. I believe got picked up by a Zero Tenacity player. I believe it might have been Mighty's if it could have been anybody, but he's pushing all the way in towards A single-handedly. I mean, even off screen, he still finds himself a double. And where Zero Tenacity were down by 100 points, it's live fire, baby. Anything is possible. And Z10 bring it back, just trailing by 15.
Looking like a lot of tenacity, not zero tenacity, as they have really fought their way into this one. BastosS gets a lot of damage on that player top center. That's Barcode. He dies early, and that's not what you want to see if you're a Mindfreak fan. They need to get these opening break slays. Instead, they fall 3. wryce, last player alive, and he's in an awkward situation. I'd almost prefer that he just dies faster so he doesn't end up on a staggered spawn, but he finds one and gets his shields back. He was in a 1v3 situation. He gets control of the tower. He's not done yet. He's fighting Sica now, but BastosS is there to clean it up.
This one shot gets cleaned up. Mindfreak 3v3 trying to flip towards the B zone. It feels like forever ago that they finally got themselves that B zone control, but they will have it once again. They know that A is about to be under threat. Swayz backs down, trying to find a player maybe who's lurking over by the key door, but sees that there's a handful of nameplates still over inside of A. It sets up a teammate of wryce maybe for the pinch. He's only able to at least find one. TchiK able to clean up another player towards the top side of bags, and Mighty's, and he's going to be the last alive. Sniper still being held on the backside of tower, and it's a well-placed shot. Scoobmeistr picks up the sniper, almost able to get the, at least the pick up the John Wick maneuver, I guess, but still Mindfreak losing out on numbers. Zero Tenacity, they're getting themselves closer towards a map 1 win.
So far, Z10 have just been finding these early picks in all these engagements, and they're winning these little 1v1 fights now, where previously it was the other way around. Finally finding some success in these engagements, and it continues. Mindfreak just keep trading out. They're not able to get into any of these zones, and that's why Z10 have continued to score. They've now momentarily paused the clock as Mindfreak are capturing both A and B, but BastosS tries to contest, doesn't get there in time, so the flip does come through, but Z10 might be able to just take B right back.
Looking good for it. Now it's going to get denied. C now being worked for Mindfreak. Just trying to be everywhere, trying to work their way back. Maybe trying to overextend a little bit too far because Z10 are back over towards B. For the moment, it was looking good for a triple capture, but Z10, again, they focus on B immediately. TchiK has the QT in play. zMightys is able to at least pinch over by the dummies door, but it's 2 in the feed from Mindfreak, looking good for the hold here on AC.
AC, not really a traditional hold. They would like to get control of B. That's why we see Barcode fly all the way out. There's not really any good part of the map to control A and B, but it's now a trip cap. Zero Tenacity being put on max pressure. They need to cap not 1, but 2 zones. Means they need to multitask quite well. Mighty's taking heavy damage, has to back away. Now they're all trapped in garage. They do flip A, but where do you go from here? Mindfreak are here to stop them short. Look at the pressure that wryce is putting in from the big door. He's gonna have to back away, but he's forcing them backwards.
2 for 1 in the feed. 234 to 234. Mindfreak's gonna have himself another lead swap as well. Good damage from Mindfreak. They are holding on. 10 away. Z10 has to go. There are no kills. Where's the presence, man? Gotta somehow hop on towards the zone. 2 seconds away. Cleanup is here for Mindfreak. The double kill from Scoob, and he will call game. 250 will be reached, though it felt like it should have been a while ago off a 100-point lead, but Mindfreak strike first in map 1.
Oh my god, the Livefire Stronghold is one of the most volatile game modes we have in Halo Infinite. So fast-paced. Mindfreak able to weather the storm. Z10 with a huge comeback momentarily, and then Mindfreak had to make one of their own. And I know when I saw that mouse moving from Scoob after the double no-scope, that man stood up and said something to the other side. I wish we had a camera on the stage. But
it's probably something really kind.
Yeah, really kind. I mean, they're Australian, right? They said, nice guy, mate.
It actually sounded exactly like that. But, hey, we talked about it, right? I mean, Mindfreak, they needed the map 1 win in anything. It's such a vibe squad, are the Aussies, right? And if they start off hot, which they did, and albeit a 16-point affair to be able to win, a map 1 win is a map 1 win, and they were able to show a lot of bright moments throughout the entirety of the way. So going in towards this Aquarius Slayer, map number 2, I suppose if they can continue up the ante, Z10 are going to be the ones who are going to be the ones that have to step up.
Yeah, like we said, this is a rematch from Dallas. Mindfreak were able to find their way into a pool with Z10 at the last event as well, but went 0-3 in pools, so fell out in the top 16. But this is one that Scoob's been thinking about ever since then, and he's getting his get back, at least so far. Z10 putting up a good fight, but Aquarius TS, I feel like this is a coin flip between these two teams. These teams are both very good. Aquarius TS, in my opinion, the most coin flippy of the Slayers that we currently play. The spawns are a bit unpredictable at times. Sometimes you get those squad spawns, sometimes you don't. So it's just going to have to be good awareness. Whichever team keeps their head on a swivel, maybe anchors one of the bases a bit better, but also has top center pressure. That's the team that's likely to come out on top.
Just as an update for everybody, obviously this is not the only stream. Make sure that you have as many different tabs open, or if you're in the venue, get your trainers on, because there's a lot of different matches. You got a 1-0 lead now for Complexity as they won the recharge 4-3. That was a crazy ending, and then we got teleported in towards this insane ending for Mindfreak versus Z10. This is of course going to be for Pool C, and then going up towards Pool B, we got FaZe setting up for a matchup versus Ether. Should be an interesting one to see if Ether can try to bounce back after a 1-3 loss versus TSM. And then for map 3, in between Unreal as well as Kraken, that is going down there, tied up 1 apiece off of a 50-47 win for Aquarius Slayer out from them. So going to be interesting to be able to see how it all continues to develop. The way we've been kind of coining it is it's a big moment for the teams that did go 0-2 yesterday in pools, because, well, outside of one pool, there were 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, this is this match that we're looking at right now, Mindfreak versus Z10, going to be the most consequential. The winner of this likely to start in the lower bracket. The loser of this likely to be out of the bracket entirely.
Should be an absolute good time indeed. Mindfreak versus Zero Tenacity back on our screens again. So with that in mind, Mindfreak and Z10 would be a massive moment for Z10 to step up in a big way. Those Slayers haven't exactly been kind to them, I suppose, though, when you put them up against it was a live fire Slayer 50-43 versus Shopify Rebellion. That doesn't seem like a good time for Z10 to be involved, but you also had the Slayer loss versus Cloud9. That was on streets 50-37, so let's see their difference in between yesterday and towards today, but it'd be very, very interesting to me if Mindfreak can continue to do what they've been doing all for the past hour, Eli, and that's just continue to up their ante.
Absolutely. They've been looking unreal. Z10 with a 2-kill lead early on here. Mindfreak stuck in this car2 side. Don't really like their positioning. I don't think they do either. Looks like they're going to wrap backwards towards the base, or at least try to, but zMightys is going to be here to cut them off. And now the war wages on. Z10 looking to ride this lead into more as the collapse is good in the yellow base.
Yep. zMightys just playing over here, over by the Flowers position. You got Sica trying to clean things over by Yellow Fridge. We'll at least find that trade. 2 in the feed now for Z10, a 2-for-2 trade, but still a 5-life lead now. Mindfreak trying to find any sort of kills, and Swayz will at least isolate 1. So Mindfreak trying to play at least off of their positional advantage, getting at least themselves over towards the blue court area. zMightys moving a little bit too fast, though. Did not look both ways before he crossed the street, and that's going to be another 2 kills answered back in kind from Zero Tenacity. 15 plays up against 10 now goes the lead. So early doors as far as this Slayer is concerned. So anyone's game, you feel.
BastosS finds a trade as well. All trades favoring the team in the lead, but in this case, 3 kills go down for Z10, so Mindfreak might be able to take some mid-map control. Now just trying to fight their way out of the base. Z10 have controlled the P side of the map pretty strongly so far this game, and I think that's why they have such a strong lead. Such a powerful position to overlook the entire map and also just control those spawns on that side. Now trailing by 5, but you have to feel like as soon as Mindfreak get back into some kind of groove, they could earn the lead right back.
Could be the case. Again, we've seen crazier things. 5-life lead is not the most outstanding lead that we've seen in a Slayer, especially on Aquarius, to be fought back from, but it's still a lead from Zero Tenacity. Again, what they really needed more than anything is to be able to step up the Slayers, and Scoob's going to be there to at least find the cleanup inside of Util. So a lot of hubbub outside of the yellow courtyard helps out Swayz to be able to find himself the double. Has a thruster as well as Zero Tenacity are spotting on the backside of the blue.
That's one of my favorite things. I have a teammate shooting over my right shoulder so I can just swing the elbows at the players in front of me. That's exactly what we just saw. The teamwork is clean from Swayz and Scoob. They've been teaming together for quite some time. Now it's Swayz trying to hold off the zombies attacking from the fridge side here. There's 3 of them go down. BastosS, last player alive, he finds his way through and now earns his team some spawns in the fridge side. Not sure if they want that, though. It's not a great place to spawn. They need to play fast out of it, and that's exactly what they do.
2 life deficit now for Mindfreak. Players 1 shot towards P2. Barcode going to retrain his eyes towards the player that was over inside of blue court, but did you forget about the 2 players you saw on the other side of the staircase? 1-for-1 trade. 2 dead now for Zero Tenacity, as now it's just a 1 life deficit.
Now all members of Z10 spawning in blue. This is exactly what Mindfreak want. They intentionally left that last player alive so that the squad spawns would come through and they could collapse here. Swayz can't find his target, though, as it's a good push out of the P side for Z10. Look how quickly we see BastosS rush to car 3 to grab the camo. Don't think he was able to grab it. Looks like TchiK unable to grab it as well. I think that camo likely fell on the ground unless he was able to proc it very quickly. Either way, Mindfreak have battled their way into a lead here after that great forced spawn and collapse situation.
I want to say that BastosS, I saw the animation, at least from the UI, that he popped camo, but regardless, it was somewhere, and now it's nowhere. We'll see it again in a few moments' time. 1 life lead now for Mindfreak as Zero Tenacity now reeling, trying to at least find the damage for the elimination goes Swayz. Gets pinched. Thruster not going to be good enough to break the ankles of Mighty, at least not mentally. So now we are tied once again. Straight gunfights after straight gunfights, fighting over this Thruster now, trying to find where these players are located at these stray spawns because of the way we have both Z10 and Mindfreak moving across the map, are constantly setting up for a lot of different pinches to be formed. 2-for-2 trade again goes the kill feed as we still have ourselves a tie game.
These kills are trading every single time. They've been tied for several kills in a row now. We got to shout out BastosS, newest member to Z10. Got the call up from Ascending Baseline EU roster. He's really been answering the call here. But it's a great push from Mindfreak. This is when Mindfreak are at their best. When they decide to just hit some part of the map together, they just run side by side. They have good target prioritization and communication in these moments. And now it's wryce waiting for the call to jump up to P2. As soon as the attention is off of him, that's when he makes his push. The communication is clean. You could tell they timed that one.
Oh yeah, keeping player alive inside of Blue Fridge as well. Now it's seemingly wryce that needs the assistance from the rest of his teammates. First to get the next 10 kills will win, as we are now sub 6 minutes within this Slayer map number 2 of Z10 versus Mindfreak. TchiK will find the first, slowly inchworming their way towards victory. But still, you can play the trades all off of the 1-kill lead, but the overextension comes through. Can you stay alive for Sica? He's had himself a great series so far at 14 and 12, and Mighty's will be there for the assistance. Zero Tenacity now within 6.
That was such a big moment for Z10. Scoop finds one, but doesn't like the trade, and they continue to trade. It's a 3-kill lead now. Swayz needs to pull off a hero play. It's a good start to it with the jump back to avoid the trade melee situation. Now Scoob pushing in the front of the base. They find 2 unanswered. And look at this cross. I love this from Scoob. He's going to go up the opposite staircase. Mightys is not expecting it. And wryce is able to clean out the flush. They've tied this up.
Every single time that there's a 1-kill, 2-kill lead, it immediately gets tied up. 47 plays against 46. The nade comes through, and it's 2 now. Zero Tenacity, just need 1. A trade would do it, but Mindfreak was in their fingertips, and it just slips through like sand. We got ourselves a tied series.
Clutch closing from Z10. These guys are clean with it, and I had to shout out BastosS. He's looking incredible for this roster. Kept his deaths low, which is really important in a Slayer. Obviously,
good shout.
Every death just gives yourself, gives the other team a closer line to the finish line, but keeping those deaths low. And he looks like a very young man as well. I didn't realize that's the first time I've actually seen what he looks like, but all right, this is our feature match, Mindfreak versus Z10. We're going to keep our eyes on this. Also, if you guys notice, there are some audio issues with the other feed. That's part of the reason why we haven't been touching on that one quite as much. We want to give you guys the best audio experience possible. Now, it's pretty evenly matched opening to this game, I would say. And Swayz, though, unfortunately finds himself assassinated. Barcode, last player alive, and not at a good time. This flag will get pulled. Let's see if Barcode can find a sneaky spot to slow it down.
We'll at least find the Totem. What a shot out of BastosS. You talked about the young buck stepping up for Zero Tenacity as the newest addition for this roster. Able to find himself a nice little clutch shot there, but still popping things up. Flag looking to get sent back towards the base off the 1v1. Double kill comes through, but the flag's still in play.
Okay, this flag is still across the map. It's about to reset, though. No, someone gets the last second touch.
No way.
Flag is still alive. Z10 making sure they keep themselves alive for this first capture, and they will bring it home.
Seems that way. Nice shots coming through from BastosS. It's kill number 4, 6 and 2 start here for Sica. BastosS trying to work himself a cheeky little flagpole, but Mindfreak more than aware. They went 0-2 down as far as the life department is concerned. They knew that push was going to be manifesting somewhere soon. 10 minutes left to play as far as his origin capture flag is concerned, and still a lot of stray gunfights. 2 for 2 goes the trades. No flagpoles potential.
Both teams vying for that mid-map control. High ground, such a massive part of this map as well. You kind of want somebody top snipe at all times, but as I say that, all of Mindfreak bottom center. Not exactly the strategy that I would recommend on this map, but Aussies know how to make lemons out of lemonade, that's for sure. They will still get this flag on the move, at least for now, but you have to imagine members of Z10 likely in a position to overextend. Can Mindfreak get a few more kills. Scoob somehow gets through without losing his life, turns around, try to help the Slays. Catches Sica bottom center with the rockets, but Sica will take him down. Is anyone else available to run that flag? We'll have to see. Looks like a few more Slays. The goal for now, but yes, that flag should go home.
Nice rocket shot coming through just to be able to at least get that elimination. Expunge the rocket. Flag looks like it is more than likely good to be sent home. Just keeping an eye on it, at least for the time being, is Mindfreak. Knows that there's at least more pressure coming through from the opposite side, but trades coming through. Flag still being worked up the ramp. Someone please find this kill. Swayz finally able to do so. Trying to desperately get the flag capture. The crouch spam's good for the perfect versus Zmitys. Swayz gets traded, but the flag sent back nonetheless.
What a clutch kill. Double kill from Swayz. That was massive. Flag standoff situation. Wins the 1v1 with a movement. Throws off Mighty's aim in the most disgusting fashion and forces the reset. We got ourselves a tie game, and uh-oh. A mouse and keyboard player has a sniper rifle. It's wryce, but no, he gets taken shortly thereafter. I think Zero Tenacity wanted to shut that down before it got out of hand. But look at the route from Scoob. Finds his way through the front door. It's not expected by Z10. Gets some more damage down, but he does fall as well. And TchiK with some great long-range VR shots from the opposite base will shut down that push.
Back to fighting for even ground again as two are off the respawn block here for Mindfreak. Barcode still going to at least find the one versus BastosS over on their Rockets ramp. Mighty's there for the trade. Numbers now on this side of the map. TchiK up inside of elbow. It's a great teammate that actually comes through. Keeps TchiK's one shot, but he still slides through. And he's able to take down Barcode, who was going for a flagpole. Swayz on the opposite side, able to find said trade. There's a flagpole being put together now for Zero Tenacity on the opposite side, but it's the sniper in the back pocket for Swayz. Finds damage for Scoob, being able to clean things up inside the closet. The nade at least there to keep the player at bay, but the flag's going to get returned regardless of what was a brief moment. Look for a potential for Mindfreak to get the flag across the map.
Swayz so sneaky right now. I did not expect him to stay down here, and doesn't look like Z10 did either. wryce with the quick flick around with the keyboard and mouse. That's terrifying if you're a controller player to see a man just instantly turn around. But several players go down for Mindfreak, and it's perfect shots across the map from Barcode to make them drop the rockets, at least for now. But other members of Z10 will go grab that. It's Sica with the rockets once again.
Yeah, Swayz gets the Phantom melee, not close enough to be able to get that connection. The rocket just point blank goes 1 for 1. Michael Bay film happening all the way across of this Origin map number 3. Both teams fighting for positioning. Halfway through the 6th minute of regulation. Flags looking to get captured once again. But the blue flag, it's reset. Battle inside of the closet, not going to be good enough. Swayz will get that elimination. The red flag still moving its way towards the blue base. You know that Swayz needs a pop-off moment. Finds at least good damage. Scoob's there for the double. And maybe this could be the return. Looking good for it. BastosS has to step up, but does not have enough HP to do so.
Not just the return, but the potential double cap. Scoob's already got this thing past the 50-yard line. Barcode finds a kill in the kill feed. They need a couple more Slays, I think. They try to force this, but it's a beautiful grenade from TchiK that shuts that down. Should be spawning members of Mindfreak to score, and they do. Barcode plants it in, and 6 minutes on the clock. That sniper will be taken off the map. BastosS denying mouse and keyboard players their chance to shine with it. We're going to have to just see bandit gameplay for a few more minutes.
Got 5 minutes and 30 seconds for Z10 to work the map to tie up this series. And maybe extend it towards overtime. Took about 4 minutes to be able to go from capture to capture, it felt like. And just both teams again are back towards that square one of the yellow brick road, trying to find themselves a positional advantage. They get their Slayers in a position to be able to clean up on all the damage that's being found, because there are just so much of that to speak of. 10 assists for Swayz. He's shooting everybody. 2 in the feed now, 1 off the nade from TchiK, 1 there from the DMR. But it's still just not enough map pressure. Here comes the flagpole on the opposite side. 3 dead for Mindfreak and Z10. They know where the last one's at. They know where the spawns are at too, but the fumble's not going to help.
Yeah, it was intentional, though. He leaves the flag there to try to wait for his shields. He knows if he crosses in front of the base, he's likely to be crossfired from the other side. It's a great melee from TchiK to deny, but both flags are still out. Mindfreak has the flag all the way in their base, and they look to reset this. If this goes home, this could be the end of the game. Swayz now going to be the next target to try to return it. And Z10 can't really contest their own flag. They have to force the touch. Flag still in the base, though, and that's going to be GG. Game number 3 goes to Mindfreak. They take a 2-1 lead in the series.
Hey man, we talked about it. Mindfreak on Origin, capture the flag, any objective respawn that you get these guys on. Once they get the ball rolling, you get these players, especially the M&K players, fighting for a position over by Sniper. You said it wonderfully. I mean, whether it's for a controller player, whether you're anybody going up against double mouse and keyboard, one of them gets their hands on that thing. You saw the snaps coming through for Mindfreak. It's a very scary situation, and Z10 were putting a lot of focus to make sure that that lane was never fully enveloped for Mindfreak, because they were constantly pouring resources into it. And they, to be fair, they did get themselves a decent amount of rockets, but it was not enough.
All incoming. The ball. Ball dropped. Enemy has 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 the ball. Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped. 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 Enemy has the ball.
On our stage.
Just as an update as well, Complexity will also hand the swift boot, it felt, for Alpha Luminon with a 3-0 win versus them as well. Omid also able to do so, but they still have to go up against the hosting team of Space Station Gaming to conclude their pool matchups, but that one seems to be all but settled as far as Pool D is concerned. We hop back over here for Pool C. ZMightys has got himself the shock rifle, but could not turn around in time. Barcode will find that trait. Sica there for the perfect top tower. They got herself just a very close shave of an opening round here on Oddball Recharge.
Sica finds himself in a precarious position, but that's going to be enough for BastosS to get the ball and start rotating it towards C. Some nice shots for the killing spree. This man is moving. Are you kidding me? wryce having to work for that one. Got the help from Scoob, but BastosS trying to make a statement as his fight ends there. TchiK with a clutch kill onto Barcode. Barcode with the T-Rex arms. Can't find the melee, but Scoob will clean it up with the cluster luck grenade. And it looks like a setup for Mindfreak here. Z10 going to be spawning elevator and pipes and going to have to find their way through.
Yep. Seeming to be that way. Swayz more than aware of it. Gets good damage on the player top side of the C plat, but Plasma Nade only just kind of gets retrieved out from his hand upon the death, but still presence through the middle of the map. ZMightys here with the camo bottom pit. Gonna be able to at least find one. Here comes the pinch inside a Whirlpool. Good damage and good cleanup to boot. So now we got Z10 off those respawns like you were talking about. able to at least get themselves inside of the A area to work some of this time for the A ball, but it's just down to BastosS. How long can he stay alive? Does at least find the trade, but his teammates nowhere near to at least pick up off of that.
Honestly, Z10 have made a lot of good plays in the Slays department, but it's just been the objective efficiency of Mindfreak. When Mindfreak gets small openings, they're getting a lot of ball time. When they start to lose numbers, they're leaving the ball in a part of the map that's very difficult for Z10 to grab it. Z10's actually outslaying so far, at least marginally. But it doesn't matter if no one's ever in position to grab the ball, and that's due to the way Mindfreak are playing. They're playing a great game of keep away and maintain their 30-second lead.
Yeah, I think it goes without saying that the best way to win an oddball game is to be able to control the oddball.
True.
Objective at the end of the day. I know, right? Forehead statement of the day.
You're right.
Scoobmeistr gonna be there for the cleanup onto one. 30-point lead now for Mindfreak, and just now 30 seconds away from winning this opening round. Swayz is so cracked, he's throwing nades at walls at this point. He's gonna hold on towards the oddball over by the bottom side of the blue box. See if he has to play the ball. Comes down to these 1v1s, and Barcode's gonna find that one, but still, too much pressure. Ball's gonna get played.
Ball back into the batteries, and we know how hard it is to grab in that position unless you have a grapple. And it looks like Mindfreak will be able to get it off its stand. wryce with some good movement hits the curb slide to launch the ball into A. Looks like Swayz trying to rotate through, but zMightys with a great cutoff angle. That's going to be an open door policy for Zero Tenacity to push right on into A.
We're here for BastosS.
Ball dropped.
Oh, he's just gotta play patient. The ball gets dropped. He has so much information on what's going on inside a world, so I don't think that he saw the player inside a glass. Ooh, good monitors coming through up on that main stage. I'll take that much. Able to at least see BastosS, the glimmer all the way through the front side. Camo not gonna get the better of Barcode. Misses 2 shots from the perfect, but nice skill jump. Keeping himself in the conversation all the way up top. BastosS aware, will clean him up, and now that's a shock rifle in his back pocket. Z10, they got the top A set up. They still trail by 30.
Enemy has the ball.
TchiK on top of the half wall. Likely used the new skill jump that HCS added to the map, but look at the pressure from Mindfreak. They come in swinging the fists and take every member down. Ball gets played bottom center, so great play ball from Zero Tenacity to mitigate the damage here. But Mindfreak probably content to leave the ball bottom center and just burn out the rest of this game clock. Only 23 seconds of regulation left.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's less time in the game clock than you need to be able to win the game. So just play for the kills. It's the smarter call. Zero Tenacity, you might be aware of this, though. They find 3 kills cleanly. Ball being played over towards the backside of blue just in case they need to make for a play. You can see players all the way in blue. zMightys, he's all the way inside a pipe. So it's a 3v4 coming through. But the nades need to be on point for Zero Tenacity. And boy, wouldn't you know it, they are. Last player alive would be wryce. 3 dead. Z10, they still play the ball, but they're all the way across the map.
That was actually wryce. wryce grabbed the ball at the last second and played the ball with his last breath on this earthly plane. Throws it off the map, and just like that, it's going to be enough for Mindfreak to win round 1. That was so clutch from wryce.
Dude,
okay,
that's disgusting. Like that's like the equivalent of, I don't even know. Like you wanted the new N64, and then you got like a hand-me-down like SNES or like even like a Dreamcast. And you just like, come on, man. Like what just happened? Unfortunate scenes, but the first round will of course go over towards Mindfreak, who have looked really good in this matchup versus Z10.
They really have. Z10, I think, not done yet. I expect them to show signs of life here. Need to really have a pop-off round here just to keep themselves alive in the tournament. And BastosS, nice body shot to the back there with the shock rifle, trying to rotate through. No Swayz is lurking, maybe overextends, looking for this kill though. He's put himself in a difficult position. wryce is going to be able to clean up one. Scoob gets away with the camo, so great distraction there from Swayz. And BastosS overextending, I fear, with that shock rifle. Might actually have given it over to Mindfreak.
Okay, here comes the control on the backside of blue. This is what Z10 really wanted to have, but the problem is they just don't have the space, and some mouse and keyboard backsmack ninja nuttiness coming through there. But still a swift break nonetheless for Mindfreak. Ball's gonna get played. Z10 do have BastosS top gold. Gonna find the player one shot, top glass. Just trying to hold this space for another attempt at the ball.
Okay. Kind of a standoff situation here. Ball in the center of the map. We're seeing another low-scoring game. If anybody watched yesterday, you might recall the oddball round that finished 25-24 on this very map, just because it's so hard to grab sometimes off of its spawn. Both teams fighting heavily for it. Mindfreak were able to get the ball into pipes comfortably though, and Sica has nowhere to go. Scoobmeistr knows his location, cuts him down. TchiK gets taken down as well, but BastosS will clean it up somehow with the double kill. He's 22 and 13, steals the ball. He's doing everything right now for Z10.
No, he really is, though. The only thing he's not leading on his team is assists, and that's TchiK who's leading it by 2 assists. Now, the damage is there. The objective time is there. Somebody bump my boy BastosS off the oddball so he can go out and slay. TchiK's going to get a curb slide. Barcode is going to track him down off of the camo. About to be depleted here. Watches his teammate's dead body just going to yeet itself in towards his pipes. That was terrifying, but still holding the cross for now. Mindfreak down in numbers. Barcode, though, gets his ankles crossed up. Nice perfect coming through. Z10 got a lot of good map presence.
zMightys with the jab strafe. You don't see that come into effect very often. One of the harder techniques to pull off, but absolutely broke the aim assist of Barcode. Scoob now going to use the grapple to get into safety. New shock rifle about to spawn, but it's about as precarious a grab as the oddball has been, so it might sit on its spawn for some time. Scoob maybe moving a little bit too fast here. Gets heat checked, and that's going to be the open door for Z10 to move the ball into A.
So much time has already been depleted off the game clock. We're at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It might become the conversation before we end up seeing 100 points scored between these two teams. Keep an eye on it. Ball being controlled here for Zero Tenacity is going to be TchiK that is holding on towards the skull. About to be over towards 40 points. Mindfreak are setting themselves up for a little bit of a push skis coming through from the top side of tower. You got a player spotting all the way over by the top side of pipes. Swayz going to join another teammate for the push over by Whirlpool. They know that Sica, he's going to be trapped. zMightys also at least finds a kill on wryce. He's one shot, so he can't really assist his teammate in the onslaught that's coming through over by elevators. A well-orchestrated break from Mindfreak. They're back in control.
Their pushes are so clean. They're hitting so many lanes simultaneously. Doesn't matter who's on the other side. They have executed these pushes so well time and time again. When we had the pleasure of listening in, we could hear Barcode rallying the troops around these pushes. Looks like they were unaware of the push from Sica though, and this double kill is massive for him, but there's more members of Mindfreak to shut that down. BastosS has to figure out what to do. He's got 1 bullet left in the shock rifle and puts it to good work against Scoob. He's left to just look at his screen for a moment. And BastosS is single-handedly keeping this team alive right now in this series.
Dude, like, what?
He's playing insane.
This is insane. He's got like the 1 bullet and he's like, we'll make it count. I guess we'll just get a perfect with it. Might as well. Shock rifle, really good for BastosS. 25 and 15. 15 assists, all of the damage, playing for his life inside of bottom tower. He hears that his teammate is under threat from the C hallway. He's going to join the likes of that attempt to at least keep the ball in play. They throw it overboard. Ball's going to get replayed, but it's still a 40-point lead here for Z10. What a reversal perfect coming through for BastosS. The guy can do no wrong.
He's playing in flow state. Shout out to Tim Active. He might be on the cast later today, but if he's watching, he's happy to hear his buzzword flow state get used. But that's the only way I can describe this point of view. I mean, he's doing everything perfect. He's so in tune with his limits and exactly how much damage he can output before he gets taken down. Even in that situation, yes, he goes down, but he recognized that he had no escape route. So he does max damage with the melee before being taken down. Unfortunately, not going to be enough as Mindfreak have regained possession of the oddball. But look how much pressure is coming in. The grenades are in. Sica gets taken down. wryce might be forced to play this ball soon. He's waiting to see where his teammates spawn before he knows what to do with it.
He's got Swayz as his first alarm over by Whirlpool. Barcode, he's playing over by the skill jump, over by C stairs, and he's going to concede that space and go the long way around. Ball is still being controlled by wryce. Zero Tenacity know that a good break would mean that they could tie up this game number 4 and force us towards a game number 5 potentially, but it's a lead spot for Mindfreak. Ball now over towards the backside of C ramp. You know that the play might just be there. BastosS, he's looking for the spray all the way through the Shrouded Cloud. He finally pushes through. We'll take down Barcode, but it's a 2-for-2 trade as the ball gets played again.
Yeah, great play ball. Mindfreak saw the writing on the wall. It was a great push, though, from Z10. I like that they started the push with that player bottom blue pipes that forced the rest of Mindfreak to respond by backing up, and Z10 just take the space that is given to them. TchiK now trying to find the cheeky crouch shot. You see him slow down to line up the reticle, but there's just too many members of Mindfreak there. They're going to shut him down, take that shock rifle. If that goes into the hands of Swayz, they got to be worried. Swayz known to be one of the best shock rifle planets, not just in Australia, but on the planet. This guy is disgusting with it.
Have to see if they can play for it. Swayz is holding that B box area. Barcode will be traded up. You know that there's still one hanging around this B area. Scoobmeistr is going to slide inside of top gold, but there's a player for Z10 that was nearby to maybe try to clean things up. 30 seconds left on the game clock. A 3-point disadvantage for Zero Tenacity, but they grab the ball in towards Whirlpool. Sica just barely stays alive, and he gets the info that there's still 2 inside of pipes. What can you do off of this push? Swayz finds 1. More players around the top side of elevator, but Mindfreak have the numbers. It's 3 dead for Z10.
Might have just accidentally Amazon primed the ball right to exactly where Mindfreak wanted it, but members of Z10 staying alive in the elevator. Swayz trying to stay alive, uses the grapple to dodge the grenade, and he's still alive. Swayz has lived for so long. Somebody needs to kill this man. Sica just desperately trying to maintain some oddball time. 1 second remaining, and Mindfreak have done it. The pop-off, they're saying go home, go back to Europe. Australia is on top.
Wow. What a turn of events coming through for Mindfreak. I mean, their opening series versus Cloud9. We saw the glimpses of the live Fire Slayer where they were able to take that map win, but here versus Z10 sending them a pack-in after what they produced yesterday. They didn't take a map off of Cloud9 or Shopify Rebellion. They are leaving this tournament only taking 1 map off of the pool play team. We'll see Mindfreak back in action versus Shopify Rebellion. Should be an interesting one to be able to see how they piece up against each other, Eli. But